What's up, everyone? It's Anna, also known as That Star Wars Girl, and today I'm going to be talking about the Rotten Tomatoes scandal once again. Now, there's a bunch of articles that have been coming out, but I found this one that in particular, it started talking about Russian bots, so we are going to get into that right now. Now, one of the reasons that Rotten Tomatoes claimed is the reason why they changed their site. Not that, Disney and Marvel called them up and was like, hey, we can't have this happen, fix it. No, their whole thing is that, it was, unconstructive criticism, borderline trolling. People were saying, hey, I don't want to see politics in my movie. Oh my gosh, how horrible. So now you're saying, because somebody has a bad thing to say about a movie, it gives you a reason to, completely change your site. I'm sure that there are movies out there that I love that somebody passionately hates. Just as I passionately hate movies like The Last Jedi because it completely ruined Star Wars. I passionately hate Aquaman because I feel like I'm never going to get those hours of my life back, and it was just the stupidest movie I've ever seen. But on the other side of things, there are some people that passionately love The Last Jedi, and there are some people that passionately love Aquaman. You can go watch my Aquaman video. Everyone was just freaking out because I said that Aquaman was a bad movie, and apparently you can't say that on the internet because people freak out, just kind of like The Last Jedi whole fiasco. So, because people have opinions that differ from what, Marvel and Disney want to be seen on Rotten Tomatoes, it gives Rotten Tomatoes, the ability or, the motive to change their entire website. Okay, what about the time when I did a live stream and I talked about Rotten Tomatoes and, the Star Wars Resistance TV show? You look at that, they are all fake accounts. There's all these fake accounts that have 5 stars. They made their, account literally the same time that the show aired and just gave it 5 stars, didn't say anything. And the actual comments of people that are commenting on the show Star Wars Resistance that have something to say how bad it is. That's how you know that these people actually watched it. They talk about the show and I'm losing brain cells watching the show. I'm like, I've been watching the show too, because I'm not going to talk about something that a TV show that I haven't seen yet. And yeah, it's true. I lose brain cells every single time I watch Star Wars Resistance. Now, you guys can argue, Anna, you haven't seen Captain Marvel yet. It hasn't come out yet. I know it hasn't come out yet. But guess what? I don't want to see it based on the marketing that Brie Larson has gone on this campaign to do for Captain Marvel. I don't believe that this woman can beat Thanos. I don't want to stand behind Brie Larson and her politics. I don't want to support that type of politics. Now, with Star Wars Resistance, on the other hand, I want to see what Disney is doing and why on earth they think that this show is going to help the plot, or lack thereof, as you guys all know. If you watch that, I always say logic out the window, which is basically what that show is. But, for whatever reason, it's adding to their lore. That's why they're doing it. And I need to know what's going on in the Star Wars universe, because maybe there's a shred of hope. I don't think so. I don't like the way it's gone. What they did to Luke Skywalker is completely unforgivable. But I'm going to watch it so you guys don't have to. Now, with Captain Marvel, apparently people saying, hey, I'm not interested in politics being shoved down my throat. Hey, I really just don't like Brie Larson. I don't, like the way that she's going around saying, I don't like white men. I don't want white men to see my movie. I'm a white dude. I don't want to, I guess I'm not welcome, so I'm not going to see it. So people actually leaving, comments about this, expressing their opinion, so Disney and Marvel can see it. So that way they can see, hey, you know what? This is a huge problem. This is a huge liability for our franchise, for our movie. If our main actress for this movie is parading around, alienating 73% of the audience, because that's how low the score got. It got down to 27%, which means 73% of people do not want to see this movie because they have been so turned off by what Brie Larson has been saying. That is a huge problem. They need to fix it. Now, the way to fix that is not going and shutting down making a website, shut down, completely change itself. That is not the way to do it. And that just shows how scared they are. They are horrified if they have to call Rotten Tomatoes and say, hey, you guys need to change your entire website. That, and silencing people never works. Freedom of speech is in the First Amendment for a reason. People will find a way. They will. Their social media. We have that. people are going to go out and talk, to one another. You shut down this, that just makes them more angry and going to, be even more vocal about it somewhere else. Those people that went and left those, comments on Rotten Tomatoes, I bet you they just wanted to, say it so that way the people that actually check it, that are in charge of, checking on social media standings of, upcoming movies, so that way they can see it, so that way they can fix a problem. I don't see why that's such, an unknown thing to them. Why they think, oh, let's go call Rotten Tomatoes and have them change everything. Oh, that's the answer. That's the answer that we need. No, it's not. That's just making a bigger problem for yourself. And then Rotten Tomatoes goes and changes their Facebook, cover photo to a picture of Brie Larson, to represent that they are standing behind Brie Larson. I feel like now everything has just become... I don't know if you guys have ever had this issue, but it's literally like a aggressive post-it note. I don't know if you guys ever had this problem with a roommate or something, but this is a real thing. If you have a roommate that you guys, don't see eye to eye, there will be, aggressive or passive-aggressive post-it notes. That's a real thing. People do that. I feel like that's what they're doing right now. Rotten Tomatoes is like, oh, well, we didn't like what you guys were saying, or Marvel and Disney, they called us up, they didn't like it, so now we have to post aggressive sticky notes everywhere. People are going to post articles about it and say, oh, it's trolls, it's Russian bots. Okay, so now because people have opinions that are different than you, they're trolls? That's not how the world works. I mean... I'm pretty sure if I go out and talk to a person, I am not going to agree with them on everything. I probably won't even agree on what our favorite superhero is. On, are you on Cap's side? Are you on Iron Man's side? That's not how the world works. That's why, it helps that there's so much differences between us, because if everyone was the same, it would be boring. That's where that whole NPC, meme came up, was because everyone that, hates on this is all the same. And they are. They all have the same argument. It's trolls. It's Russian bots. This is exactly what happened with Ghostbusters 2016. That movie was boring. That movie didn't make any sense. The jokes fell flat. I mean, you want to take a franchise of movies that were built on Bill Murray and then not have Bill Murray? Or not have him be the, lead Ghostbuster? Come on! What do you expect? That's like, it irks my soul, like, when I was growing up, and there would be these franchises, and then they would, do a sequel, and it wouldn't have the actors in it. It's like, okay, nobody wants to see that. It doesn't have the main actor or actress in it. Why? It's not the same. We don't have that same, like, emotional attachment because we've watched those actors grow. Now, with this, it's getting desperate. It's so desperate that they had to go and change a website. It's desperate now that they have to write articles about it, accusing trolls and Russian bots. Because apparently the Russians have all this time on their hands. They're not worried about, their own issues. They're not worried about, their own government. They're not worried about, all this epidemic of, children that are orphans that, they are either in the orphanage, and once they get to a certain age, they have to be on their own, and, there's a whole lot of, stuff that Russia is dealing with because of what happened in their past. You think that they have enough time on their hands to go and fuck with a movie? You're gonna blame... Like, come on, what is this, the 1950s? The Russians are not responsible for your movie failing. The lead actress is the reason why this movie has such a bad, propaganda behind it, because she's trying to shove her politics down everyone's throat. I have said this in every single Captain Marvel video I have made. I do not support Brie Larson. I do not look up to Brie Larson. She's proclaiming that she's going to be the hero that us women have to look up to. Again, I don't know how many times I have to say this. I do not look up to her. I am the target audience that she is trying to say that she wants. I don't support her. I do not look up to her. If anything, it's disgusting to see the things that this woman says and, the way that she carries herself. That is not a superhero. This seems like it's a supervillain. If this movie was about a supervillain, then I feel like this marketing is appropriate. But the fact that it's a superhero, it's not. Do you see... Tony Stark going around saying this kind of stuff, or, Robert Downey Jr.? No! Do you see Chris Hemsworth going around saying this kind of stuff? No! Do you see any of the other actors in this franchise going around, saying that they want to exclude people from their movies? No, they don't. Brie Larson did. And it blows my freaking mind. So because people have an opinion that they do not like what this woman has been saying, it gives, Rotten Tomatoes, oh, it's trolls. There's so many of these negative comments. It couldn't possibly be that this movie is flawed, that the way that they are marketing this movie is flawed. No, it's trolls and it's Russian bots. Like I say in all my Resistance videos, logic out the window, around the corner to infinity and beyond. That's what is going on, and it's getting worse. It's getting worse, and I am sorry, everyone, because I really hope I don't have to make another video about this, because it's blowing my mind. I feel like I'm losing brain cells reading these articles about what's going on. I'm just, at some point, we all have to acknowledge that we are all adults here, so start freaking acting like it. Don't go blaming all of these problems that you're having on other people. At some point, as an adult, you need to take responsibility for your actions, and you need to acknowledge that the fact that people are saying, hey, there's something wrong, you should probably fix it. Just like in my videos, I've been having problems with my microphone. In every single one of the videos since I've been having these problems, people have said, hey, I think you should probably fix your microphone. And I've been trying to. I'm not getting offended because people are telling me that I'm having microphone problems. No, because I know that I have an issue and I'm trying to fix it. That's not, me taking it personally, like, oh my god, these people hate me because, my microphone, they must be trolls, they must be Russian bots. No, that's not how it works. That's not, come on. But anyway, I am so sick and tired of talking about this. I know I always say to myself, it couldn't possibly get worse. And then it does. It couldn't possibly get worse. And then it does. So guys, I really hope it doesn't get worse, and I'm pretty sure it's going to. On that note, everyone, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. If you didn't, that's okay too. And if you haven't already, go ahead and subscribe to my channel. Make sure you click that little bell. That way you get notifications when I, put out other videos and do live streams, because in live streams it's pretty fun. I usually have my puppy Tulip with me. She's sleeping right now, or else I would have her with me right now. But anyway, guys, have a great rest of your day. I know you guys aren't all trolls. I know you aren't Russian bots. So I'm sorry. But have a great rest of your day, and may the force be with you, because we are really, really, really going to need it. Bye. Hey everyone, after being asked for months now, I finally got a P.O. box, so if you want to send me some mail, go ahead and send it to Anna, that Star Wars girl, or TSWG for short, at P.O. Box number 28171, Santa Ana, California, 927998171. Thank you, have a great day, guys.